Hey there, I'm srcmake and welcome to the video on Bitbucket pull requests. In this video, we are going to talk about what pull requests are, if you don't already know. We're going to quickly go over the method of how you would make a forking pull request on Bitbucket, but that's not what we really care about. Really, we want to know how to make a branching pull request on Bitbucket, which is the preferred method if you're working on a small team and you can actually make changes to the project repository itself. It's really the best practice. And I have the commands listed right here, and of course for the forking way, it's all listed right here. And I've even got a demo project that we're going to be going through in this video, and we're going to make a change to it. And we're going to do the branching way, we're going to make the pull request, you're going to see how it all works. I'm going to go through these commands to tell you the best practices. And all of these resources, this page is going to be on my website. You can click the link below this video to get to this page, maybe bookmark it for later in case you ever need it. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button for this YouTube channel. Thanks. So if you don't already know, a pull request is just a way for you to contribute to a project by making changes to the code and asking the repository owner to merge your changes into the actual main project. So for example, we've got this project right here. I'll make it a little bigger for you to see. In this project, the README says that sharks are the nicest fish. Maybe that's an error by the project owner. For example, I think dolphins are a nicer fish than sharks are. So maybe we could update this project's code to actually reflect that and have this line say dolphins are the nicest fish. That's what we're going to do. So we've already done pull requests for GitHub, by the way. If you don't already know, there's a blog post on it and there's a video. You can find it right there in case you need it. But we care about Bitbucket today. That's really what we care about. Now on Bitbucket, of course, you can also make a forking pull request. That's really good for open source contributions because you can actually make changes to the project itself. And you would do that on Bitbucket by clicking this create button, making your fork. You would make the changes to your forked repository, and that's what you would compare to this repository when you make the pull request. I don't want to go too into it because it's pretty simple. The steps are listed here if you want to do it yourself, but we care about this branching way, so let's go into it. Let's actually just go ahead and get started by going through our example. I just kind of did this before too, so let's go ahead and do it. So you see the steps listed right here. The first step is to clone the Bitbucket repository we want to contribute to. In our case, it's this project right here. We can make this a little bit smaller. And we see conveniently this git clone command is right here, so we're going to copy it. And we need to do these changes on our local computer. That's really how you would make most changes. So I'm going to shift right click to open a terminal in Windows. Type the word bash to make this a Linux terminal. And of course, you can use any terminal you want to. We're not really scared of doing these commands ourselves. Some people use git tools, but we don't need git tools. We're very hands-on. So let's paste it's not copied. Copy, paste. We will clone this repository. You see it shows up right here. We'll click into it. We'll cd into it in the terminal. And we need to next step is to make sure that we're on the right branch for the project. This is really important. You don't want to make changes to the wrong branch. So you see right here in this project, there's only the master branch. And if you type git branch, you'll see that we're on master. But make sure you go to the correct branch if your project has, more branches, especially because most people work off develop branches. The next step is to make the changes to the project on your local computer. We know that we need to edit this README file, so let's go ahead and do that. The first thing I want to do is add something that says ice cream is tasty. That's going to help us in the next video. So let's go ahead and do that. We will actually add this change and we'll commit it. Let's just type the commit message to be ice cream. That's pretty good for us. And the other thing we want to do is change this from sharks to dolphins. We'll save that file. We're done editing this. And if you don't know, you can type git status. It'll show you what files have been modified. We'll do a git add. And this time, instead of doing a period, we'll add the file directly. That's the file name, so we'll do that. And the commit message this time will be dolphins. So now if you type a git status, you'll see that we are 2 commits ahead of master, ahead of the current branch that we're working on. The next step is to create a new branch for the changes that we just made. Remember, we're making a new branch for our changes. And we can do that with git checkout /b and then the branch name. Now, the convention on Bitbucket is to type /feature as a prefix if you're building a new feature, or /hotfix/ if you're doing a hotfix, or bugfix/ if you're doing a bug fix. It's just kind of the way to actually let the person know what your branch is going to be about. In our case, I'm going to type documentation because I think it's a documentation change, and I'm just going to write faves as the description for what we're doing in this branch. So that seems to be good enough for me. Next, we want to push our changes back to this repository because it lives on our computer, but we want this branch to go ahead and live in this main project repository. So, pro tip, if you type git push, Git will actually have this, what you need to type in the actual upstream origin and the branch name right here. And if you don't know that, then you can just come to this list and read it right here. But we're just going to copy and paste it. And next, we have to type in our password. Hopefully, I typed it correctly, and it looks like I did. So if you come back to this page, we're not even going to refresh. Bitbucket is pretty cool because you just you click the button, and our branch showed up. And if you even go to this branch, our changes are there, dolphins and ice cream. So now that our branch lives on the repository, the next thing we want to do, which is actually the final thing, is make our pull request. So if you make this a little bigger, so we have our changes in this branch, but we want this changes to go to the actual master branch that we actually care about, what we consider to be the main project. So if we go to this pull request tab, we can create a new pull request. Bitbucket already knows that we want to actually compare our documentation/faves branch to the master branch. We'll have to give it a title. Let's just see readme update. You'll see the commit messages here. You can make this more descriptive. You really should. We see reviewers, so if other people are working on this project, you want them to review your changes and make sure that it's legit. You would type any reviewers here. We will close this branch when it's done because once the pull request is done, we don't care about this branch anymore. Our changes will be in effect, and that's good enough for us. So we'll click this. You can't see. We'll click this. You still can't see. You'll click this pull request button finally, and this will create the pull request on Bitbucket. So you see, just like that, we can create a pull request on Bitbucket by making a new branch. And that's really the way you should do it if you're working on a small team, which you probably are if you're working on Bitbucket and not GitHub. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we are going to see how to actually edit this pull request, because it's really important. It really happens where someone will like one of your changes, but they want you to edit something else before they do the merge. And yeah, we'll see how to do that in the next video. So I'm srcmake. Make sure you subscribe. You can leave a comment if you like this type of content about GitHub. You can like this video. I have all my social media links here too if you want to follow there. So thanks for watching.